Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 31st of March. Following McShane's readings, we've reached the end of John's Gospel today. We're reading John chapter 21, story of Jesus at the Sea of Galilee, meeting with his disciples. He asks Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" And Peter says, "You know I do." And in a sense, Jesus restores him after his 3 denials. And he then tells Peter that in his future, somebody else is going to decide where he goes. And John makes a comment, Jesus said this to indicate the kind of death by which Peter would glorify God. Then he said to him, "Follow me." But I was struck by Peter's response. Peter turned and saw that the disciple whom Jesus loved was following them. This was the one who had leaned back against Jesus at the supper and had said, "Lord, who's going to betray you?" When Peter saw him, he asked, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus answered, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You must follow me." And the humanness of Peter's response really struck me, because as human beings, we do compare ourselves to other people. And our society and culture is set up to almost ingrain that. From young, you go to school and you get reports. And at one stage, they gave you positions in the class, which really reinforced it. But you run races, or you have a tennis log, or you have a debating, and you have somebody at the top and then all people under them. And so we're constantly comparing ourselves. And in the world today, with people using Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, the more followers you have, the better. And if a friend of yours has got more followers than you do, that makes you feel terrible, because they're obviously more popular than you, they're better than you. What must I do to get people to like me? How can I get people to approve? And if you're comparing ourselves to other people, it's a fool's game, when we'll always either lose or win, depending what we choose to compare by. Because if you're good at academics, you choose academics to compare yourself, and you're the top. But if you're comparing athletics, you might be at the bottom. So Peter was trying to do that. "Lord, what about him? Is his future going to be as good as mine?" Which of us is? Jesus says, "No, don't worry about it. I will sort John out. You follow me." And so we must remember, as Christians, we don't compare ourselves to anyone else other than Jesus. He's our model. He's our aim. He's what we work towards. And so we never ask, "Am I better than that person?" We always ask, "Am I getting closer to being like Jesus?" And the only person we can compare ourselves to is ourselves. Am I better today than I was yesterday? That's what matters, not what other people are doing. As Jesus says to Peter, "Don't worry about John. You follow me." So know that God sees you, and he is not comparing you to anyone else. He is just wanting you to be the best you that you can be. We need to remember that as Christians, fix our eyes on Jesus and follow closely. Doing that, we will be blessed.